Hey everybody. So today we are, well, right now we're actually at the Daniel Boone Visitor Center. I don't know if it's open or not, but we wanted to head up to Cumberland Gap and check that out and show everybody what's there. And also,
Are we on the border of Tennessee and Virginia?
we actually just crossed into Virginia like a minute ago. And but they have some pretty cool things here, like a Steph-N-Lee back there. So there's a lot of information to read here, but just to give you the highlights, between 1775 and 1810, 200,000 to 300,000 pioneers passed through the Cumberland Gap. Okay, so that was not the visitor center, but we're going to head to the visitor center next. I think next. We might actually head to the furnace next, show you that, and go from there. All right. Lots of hiking in this park. Of course, we know Stephanie's not a huge fan of that.
It's called Hiking in the Gap, and it's got a well-paved, broad pathway.
Yep.
It's really cool. That's supposed to be the same water source is still here that fed the furnace 200 years ago.
Fed the town. Yeah, they still get their water. I forget the name of the Cave Creek or something like that.
That's pretty.
Yeah. So there is the iron furnace. It says from the early 1820s to the 1880s, an iron smelting business here took advantage of the rushing waters of Gap Creek. Gap Creek, that's what it's called. And Gap Creek, which we'll show you here in a second too, you can probably hear it, supplies the town with the water. So
This area is rich in iron ore, which led to the construction of this furnace over 200 years ago. It's the oldest standing structure in this park.
yep. They're really beautiful. Now, I've seen other furnaces in other places, but I don't know that I've ever seen any with rocks this big. Take a little quick look inside. Now, we totally went off trail, so Steph-N-Lee did not follow, of course. But just wanted to show you. There's the back side of the furnace. But hopefully we can kind of get a, you see the water there coming down off the mountain. A little bit better look. We're going to stop here and check out this and the Whistle Stop Antiques, and so follow us. but little view. Love the mountain back there. There we go. Some of the old papers on the ceiling. Spare ribs for 49 cents.
Coffee for 69
Yeah,
cents.
there's coffee for 69 cents. I even found my name. Yeah.
So I really love this cast iron old oven. And we almost had one at the old house, except we would have had to refit our kitchen. And my husband didn't want another thing to put more things on. So that caused me out of luck again. Once more.
No.
Place and purpose.
So what did you think real quick before we melt in the car?
That was grandma's stuff in there. I saw everything that I remember out of my grandma's house in there.
Yeah, they did have a lot of cool stuff. I thought their prices were good.
The prices were terrific.
Yeah.
The way they displayed it was terrific. It was a very small area, but they did it very well.
Yeah, and unfortunately they had music playing, which with copyright stuff, I had to play music over it, blah, blah, blah. So on to the next.
Yay!
Now here in Cumberland Gap, there's another place I think that's notable, which is the...
Gertie's Commissary.
Yeah, well, there's Gertie's Commissary, and that's where we're going to go in.
Antiques and old stuff.
Yeah, antiques and old stuff like Steph-N-Lee. But
Bicycle.
there's a little Congress bicycle museum over there, which if I was more about bicycles, we might go in. But let's go check out Gertie's Commissary. You like that dress?
I do. I do. I love vintage clothes as well.
What don't you like?
Look, Roy Rogers doll up there.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, isn't he?
Oh, and the crazy quilt in the ladder beside him. Oh my gosh, how cool.
Yeah, how much?
About $8.49 for the
That's cool.
enamel tin.
Lovely dolls. And Stephanie always tells me to stop. Hey, now there's something. The Fawns and Ralph.
Oh, they're cool.
Glasses.
I don't ever recall seeing those.
Nope, I don't either. That's a hall chair.
Yep, if you go the whole way down, you can see it's a place where you hang your hats, your coat, umbrella.
Oh gosh. Stephanie loves her uncomfortable furniture.
And look at that brown transferware. That's gorgeous. Washington, looks like Washington theme.
Yeah. And Stephanie found the Christmas. And she'll like those, don't you?
I love them. That's a great tree.
Like, it is not December, it is not Christmas time, but she finds it nonetheless.
Look at her. Look at this little guy.
Little shelf sitter.
Hello.
Check out this lamp. Like the cutouts in the shade. And then it's actually like in a wooden bowl. 119 for that. But they do have a lot of unique stuff in here. Not necessarily in my taste, but
I do like this.
yeah, like dun 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 dun.
Stop.
Dun 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 dun. Stab you in the middle of the night. I think you might have actually had that dress at one time. Looks familiar.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this was some sort of like old train station or something.
Look at these.
We should have asked when we were in there. We should have asked if this was an old train station or what it was.
The major platform to get on and off.
Yeah.
I think it was a double-deck trolley or something.
I don't know.
But the architecture in this building alone,
Yeah.
there, the eaves and the lantern.
Yeah, it is pretty
and
cool
the
out here, isn't it?
painting.
They have a little coffee shop down there
A little,
with some outside seating along the creek.
yes, coffee and juice and a little stream that everybody's playing in today. It's such a beautiful day. So we just found out the history of this little Gertie's Antiques and Old Stuff shop, which was the train station for Cumberland Gap, for the little town of Cumberland Gap. It was moved to this location in the 80s for preservation. So
Hence why I didn't see any railroad tracks.
no, it was actually moved, but the railroad tracks are back here. They're gone, but that's when they were moving the iron ore out through this little town.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So what'd you think in there? I know you liked it a
I
lot.
loved it, and the people we meet, I'm just so grateful to God that these people are on our path in every in every way imaginable.
Yeah.
They share a story, a family story or whatever. You just take the time and listen. It's all good.
Oh, there it is. The tunnel.
The tunnel to Kentucky.
The tunnel to Kentucky. Now up here we are at Fort McCook. See the view. Which I'll read you a little bit about Fort McCook here in a minute. So actually, not only was this Fort McCook, but it was also Fort Rains, actually depending on who held it at what time. So when the Confederate soldiers had it, it was Fort Rains. And when the Union Army had it, it was Fort McCook. And there are numerous cannon batteries up on some of these ridges. Now it's pretty easy to get up here. They have steps and handrails, and although there are quite a few steps. Steps and Stephanie are not friends, so she waited in the car. Here's a timeline of who held Cumberland Gap, and they both had it twice. So The Confederate states had it from like 1861 to June 18th of 1862, when the Union Army took it for a minute, and then the Confederate states took it back for a little bit, to where the Union Army ended up taking it then until the end of the Civil War. Little map. Yeah, these big rocks are pretty awesome.
And it's overall a clear day today.
Yeah. One heck of a view.
See about walking around.
Which I will pull out the other camera then so we can zoom in, but it's a great clear day to be able to see all this. And somewhere on that ridge line over there is the border to Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Here we go, the other camera. Get a little bit of a better view, maybe. We'll look out the other side here in a minute.
Looks like an eagle.
No, turkey vulture, I think. And there you can see the cars going into the tunnel. And some of the rocks in here are pretty amazing, aren't they?
Yeah. I forget that's a certain kind of rock that's conglomerate, whatever, comes up through the middle of the earth in a combination of different minerals.
So of course that's what we just took a look at. This is the Pinnacle overlook. But I wanted to share this too, is there's the Wilderness Road Trail. Of course we took a look at the iron furnace. There's Gap Cave, the overlook, which we took a look at, Hensley Settlement, and White Rocks. A lot of this is only accessible by trail, so you can wait for me to maybe have to do this once by myself, but I'm not gonna have Steph sit in the car that long while I hike all this stuff. So, but really cool park, I think.
Yes.
So there's the elevation, 2,440 feet. Stand at the Cumberland Gap and watch the procession of civilization, marching single file, the buffalo following the trail to the salt springs, the Indian, the fur trader and hunter, the cattle raiser, the pioneer farmer, and the frontier has passed by. I guess I should have started at the other end, because there's the buffalo. All right, so like I said, there's a lot here. Most of it is accessible by trail, a lot of hiking, but if that's your thing, you know, this is definitely a place for you.
There's so much parking, so you can park and plan your day accordingly to which trail you take. And if you call the ranger station, they may give guided hikes.
Yeah, to some of it I think there is. But I hope you enjoyed it, especially the Pinnacle. Yeah, the view at the Pinnacle. And that was pretty amazing. And
beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day. Up in the 70s, sunny. The birds are chirping, blah, blah, blah. At any rate, we want to thank everybody for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time,
have a Steph-N-Lee day.